I'm Marion Messmer, Senior Research Fellow in the International Security Program at Chatham House, and I'm here at Parliament today because I'm giving evidence for the Joint Committee on the National Security Strategy. I expect we will be talking about the UK's nuclear deterrence capabilities. We'll likely discuss the difficult security environment in Europe and what the UK government can do to better defend Britain and British citizens in the years to come.
Can I ask you, what are the long-term risks to the credibility of the nuclear deterrent? Can I also ask whether you have a view about whether it's feasible for the Dreadnought subs to come on into service by 2030? And how could we strengthen NATO's deterrence?
We know that Russia really cares about the fact that UK nuclear weapons are dedicated to NATO and are part of NATO's extended deterrence capability. That's something that that they see as something that they need to pay attention to. And we've seen that as France has sort of thought about what role its nuclear weapons play for European deterrence, that the Russian media conversation about France has shifted significantly. So I think, if we're sort of weighing up pros and cons, then that's essentially a plus in terms of the long-term deterrence capabilities. But if we look at the failed Trident test in February 2024, then I'm afraid that essentially would be seen as a weakness. Even though the US has, of course, conducted lots of successful tests, if you just look at the UK tests, then that track record is a lot less strong. And I think that can't be explained away simply by saying that the missiles are part of the same pool, because deterrence has so much to do with perception as well. I think similarly with the Vanguard submarines staying at sea longer and returning with barnacles on them or whatever it might be. I think that's also something that in the perception of nuclear deterrence would not necessarily show a strength. So what does that mean for the UK? I think it essentially means that as the UK is thinking about how to invest in various deterrence capabilities, messaging is a really big part of it, and essentially showing that NATO and showing that joint-up European deterrence thinking is at the forefront of UK thought is going to be really important. But also it is really important that the Dreadnought replacement program works well, and that the submarines can be delivered as close to schedule as possible.